What are you going to say to them?
My school doesn't let me.
My school doesn't let me. What else? How are they going to find out? Well, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they're going to say.
You could always say that your phone plan doesn't allow text messaging.
I just saw you text. I wouldn't go there. There's more savvy than you are.
Yeah.
I would say, I would just tell them the truth. This is an important relationship to me.
Oh no, I
but-
mean like if you can't text me, like can I call you? Like,
Oh.
what does it say? But yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
they're going to say, then can I call you?
Yeah.
Let's just, not most students are gonna, you say no, they're gonna be like, fine. But there might be one or two among all of your sites that really push the boundary. And I guess I just want you guys to be prepared with an answer, rather than like, okay. And then you give them something you didn't want to give them, right? So I want you guys to have an answer. UCLA by policy doesn't really allow us to. How are they gonna find out? Well, I really want to respect the policies of UCLA, and I also want to, this is an important relationship to me, but I also want to make sure that it doesn't go into other ways that it shouldn't go. Because they might develop crushes, stuff happens. Stuff happens, okay? Am I ready to help? So once you're like, you know what, I am suspicious of this is concerning to me, decide what is concerning to you. Give yourself plenty of time to discuss your concerns with whoever it is you need to. And if it's with the student or you're concerned, you're not sure, maybe you see marks on their arm, you're not sure if they're cutting, you want to find out, say, I've noticed these marks on your arm, I'm concerned about this, and be prepared with referrals. So, I think I'm going to have to let somebody know about this. My concern is your safety. No, please don't tell anybody, please don't tell anybody. I'm going to stop. What do you do?
You say no, I have to tell somebody.
Yeah. You really have to keep the boundary, okay? And you just need to validate their concerns. I know it feels scary, but really and truly I want to get you help. There's no reason you have to suffer. This indicates to me you're suffering, and I need to get you some help. Okay? Again, get UCLA involved, get their protocols involved. Be prepared up front and to set boundaries, consult as much as you can. Utilize your own self-care services. So making sure you're sleeping and eating. Sometimes it can get very overwhelming to work with certain students. How many of you had that last year to some extent? Yeah, it can be a lot, right? So you have to be sure you're taking care of yourself, right? So self-care for helpers. You guys are all in this. There's no coincidence that you're in this field and you're doing this kind of work. You clearly care about others. But we also, it's like that common airplane analogy of the mask on yourself first before you can help other people. So you have to make sure you're breathing, finding some quiet time. And I know it's a quarter system. And I know weeks 1 through 4, there's lots of quiet time. Weeks 5 through 8 or 8 through 11, forget it, right? Mm-hmm. So we do live on the quarter system. It is a pain in the butt. So taking breaks maybe isn't as realistic. But if you're noticing yourself, what I notice happens is week 5 through 10, students, whereas 1 through 4, they have all the time in the world, all the patience in the world, they're so motivated. 5 through 8, the anxiety's happening, more Red Bull, more caffeine, more cocktails. Your system is dysregulated, and then by the end of the quarter, you're worn out, okay? So making sure you are eating and sleeping and being regulated, not because of weeks 0 through 4, but because week 8 is coming. Week 9 is coming. And if you are dysregulated this early in the quarter, imagine what you'll be like week 9 of the quarter. Okay, week 9 is not pretty, right? Right? So take care of yourselves, take breaks, sleep well, eat well, drink lots of water, avoid revealing too much. There's always the pull to tell your own story. And give more. We are a community service oriented university. It's give, 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 give. But you have permission to withhold, okay? To like set your own boundaries with stuff. Any reactions or comments or questions? Reactions to what I'm saying?
It's very helpful.
Okay, good. So set reasonable expectations for yourself and with your students. And the last little thing I'm going to talk about is just when you're working with students, particularly 6th grade and up, just remembering about change, okay? I want you to reflect about a change you've tried to make in your life, big or small. I want to exercise more, I'm not going to procrastinate this quarter, I'm going to study more, I'm going to get my assignments in on time. Just a plan, change. How much time did it take to move from actually thinking about making change to actually changing? Or how many of you are still in process? How many of you are still in process of changing? How many of you have changed and relapsed again? Back to your old ways. So I want you to remember that change is in stages. There's pre-contemplation. I think I might want to change. Let's just pick the famous one of procrastination. I'm not going to procrastinate this quarter. No, at the end of in the 10th quarter, in 10th week, pre-contemplative. Procrastination is all you're doing, right? There's no motivation to do anything but procrastinate, right? Then finals becomes like, I'm not going to do this to myself anymore. So you're contemplating change. You're in week 0, week 1 of the quarter, preparing change. I'm going to do it differently this time. This time I'm going to start early on my projects. I'm going to keep up on all my reading, right? So you take some action. Maybe week 1, week 2, you do your readings on time, right? Maybe week 3, maybe week 4. That's pushing it. So you have some maintenance for 4 weeks. I was on top of it. But guess what? You relapse. Week 5, procrastination. So this is the change cycle with most people. So when you're working with students around changes that they want to make in their life, I just want you to know that change is a process. And it usually takes time and practice, and people often go through stages. They begin to recognize they have a problem. They consider what they want to do. Many people are contemplative about, maybe I'll change, maybe I won't. Let's take procrastination as an example. Next quarter, I'm going to do it differently. So they make an effort, maybe a little bit. Now, you've made no change or prepared to change, but you're just going to will yourself to change. And change actually takes planning, right? So how you can be helpful. So when you're working with like 6th, 7th, 8th graders, I know it's really tempting to think that like our advice is going to change their life forever, but remember who we are. Look how long it takes us to change. So not expecting miracles overnight. So being open, avoiding judgments when they don't change, right? Validating their feelings, avoid focusing on yourself. Oh, when I did this, and this is what I did, and this is how great a student I was, and I was so great, and I did this, and I did that. Avoid all of that. Just be supportive and validating of their experience, right? And set a good example. And then be a good listener. So when they are telling you stuff, even when they're 5 years old, look at them squarely in the face, open posture, lean toward them. Engage them in eye contact. No distractions, not on your phone, not on Facebook, don't try to do another task. And no judgmental language, just being open to that student, and whatever it is, math, chemistry, just tutoring, mentoring. And then if you really do want to work with them on change, it makes sense to set like some goals. Like, what do you want to change? So we know what we're looking for, right? Rather than something like, I'm not going to procrastinate. Well, what does that look like? Like how would you concretize that with them so they feel like they can be successful? Set small goals that they can achieve so they feel successful, right? And then for yourselves, take advantage of our services. Utilize us. If you're struggling with anything, we're in John Wooded West. You can make an individual appointment. You can come by our office. You can call for a brief screen or a consultation on something or something you have a question about. So use us as your resource if you're getting stuck managing all of this, right? And that's all I have.